If you are applying for NHS specialty training in the next year, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most candidates will have identical clinical experience, same rotations, same foundation years, and the same exams such as MRCP or MRCS. When everyone looks the same on paper, the scoring system finds a way to differentiate them. And right now, one of the biggest differentiators is research. I'm going to give you the exact 6-month system to build a research portfolio from zero. And at the end of this video, I'm giving you the word-for-word email I would send to a consultant to approach them asking them to be my supervisor. The framing, most people completely get wrong. If research has always felt like an academic thing, something that happens in big university hospitals, not in your clinical job, I hear you. I felt the same. But the recent NHS changed this conversation. Research is no longer just for the academics. It's a scoring mechanism, and this video is your system for working it. Here's exactly what you are getting: a month-by-month plan, the specific outputs that score points on your application, how to land a supervisor even if you know nobody in research, and the AI tools that cut your timeline in half. Let's start with what actually scores points, because this is something most people get confused about. They do the research activity that feels productive but doesn't really translate into anything on their application form. The outputs that typically score under current specialty applications, these include your research published peer-reviewed papers, audit cycles with a completed loop, conference presentations, and teaching with documented evidence. Here's what most people miss. They are not equally achievable in 6 months. A systematic review is a 2-year commitment. A case report, maybe 3 months. An audit cycle, you can run it in parallel with everything else. That is the framework I'm building around. And in month 2, I'll show you exactly why case reports are your biggest opportunity right now. On that note, if you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I've got a full NHS applications and research series on this channel, all for free, all based on what actually works from my own personal experience. Now, let's move on to the plan. Month 1 is entirely about finding your research question. The mistake I see constantly, people start writing before they know what they are writing about. Don't do that. Month 1 is about finding a research gap that is small enough to address quickly, clinically relevant to your specialty, and not already saturated in the literature. Because if you pick a topic that has already been published hundreds of times, you're not going to get your paper published in practice, or it will be a very difficult job. The practical move: go to PubMed, search your specialty plus case report or literature review, and filter to the last 2 years. You're looking for a recent interest but a gap, something which hasn't been done yet. And even if it has been, something that hasn't not been done many times, because you can always approach the same topic in a different way which hasn't already been done. A patient population that's underdescribed, a complication that needs synthesizing. You can decide based on your interest and what you find on the literature. 2 weeks, do this properly, it saves you months later. Month 2 is where things get faster than you'd expect. If you have 6 months and no existing research history, a case report is your best bet. Here's why, and this is the part that surprises most people. You need one interesting clinical case which you've almost certainly already seen in your clinical work. One conversation, one email. The exact framing for that email is coming before the end of this video. The writing itself, 4 to 6 weeks if you're disciplined, and the turnaround at most journals is about 8 to 12 weeks. Submit in month 3 and you could have your decision before the application window even opens. On journal choice, don't aim for Lancet on your first paper. Aim for a credible, indexed, specialty-specific journal where a well-written case report will be accepted. BMJ case reports, Journal of Surgical Case Reports, legitimate publications that score points on your application. This is what matters at this stage. Month 4. While your paper is under review, do not sit idle. This is what most people do. People wait for the paper results before starting anything else. That is 3 months wasted. Start an audit cycle now. Choose something simple and measurable: antibiotic prescribing practice, VTE prophylaxis compliance, discharge letter timing. All of these things count, and the best thing is that they don't need ethical approval, which can take months and months. The topics I mentioned, they need a question, a data collection phase, and a re-audit. 2 to 3 months for a full cycle, entirely achievable in parallel. A completed audit loop is a scoreable item on most applications. Month 5 is where the compounding effect starts. Regional and national medical conferences typically open abstract submissions 3 to 4 months before the event. In month 5, take the findings from your case report or audit and submit an abstract. The Royal Society of Medicine, your regional surgical or medical society, specialty-specific annual conferences, most have junior doctor and student sections built specifically for this. Even a poster presentation at a regional conference is a scoreable portfolio item. One submission, one more line on the application form. Teaching is consistently the most underestimated portfolio item, and I think it's because most junior doctors are already teaching informally. Bedside tutorials, handover briefings, but none of this is documented. In month 6, organize one formal teaching session for the medical students, foundation year doctors, or the nursing staff. Get an attendance register, collect feedback forms, and that documentation is what converts informal teaching into a scoreable item. One formal evidence session is worth more than 10 undocumented ones. Now, before I get to the AI tools, I want to address the question I get asked every single time I talk about research. People often ask how can they find a consultant to supervise them. They may have an interesting case report which they already are thinking about, but most of the time they don't have someone who can supervise this project, because most people assume consultants are too busy, too protective of their research time, or simply not interested in helping a junior doctor publish. That is not my experience. Here's the approach that works. Step 1. Identify a consultant in your trust or the hospital who has published in the last 2 years. You want someone who is active, not someone who published once in 2009 and hasn't touched a paper since. Step 2. Email them with a specific proposal. Not something like, I would love to get involved in research. That is too vague and it puts all the work back on the consultant. Instead, I'm going to give you the exact script for this in a moment. You say, I've identified this clinical case. I would like to write it up as a case report. Would you be willing to as a corresponding author? I will handle the writing and submission in full. That framing changes everything. You are doing the heavy lifting. They're just lending their name and expertise. In my experience, most people say yes. Now, the AI tools that make all of this faster. The research process can be dramatically faster if you use the right tools. You got tools like Claude, Google Gemini, and Site.ai that can compress a literature search from 40 hours to under 10. Not because they do the thinking for you, but because they handle the retrieval and organization that used to consume all your time. For writing, I'm not saying use AI to write your paper. What I'm saying is that it's a legitimate tool to structure your argument, checking the logic of your discussion section, and editing for clarity. Used ethically and transparently, these tools don't compromise your paper, they just make it better. I've done a full breakdown of the exact AI research workflow I use, so let's get to what we talked about earlier. How can you approach a consultant asking them to be your supervisor for your research project? So subject line, you can put something like case report collaboration, and then you start the email by saying dear and then Mrs. Doctor and or so on and their name, and then you introduce yourself. If you don't know this consultant from before, you say something like, my name is Dr. Pasan, I'm currently working, and then your grade and your specialty and your hospital. I've identified a clinically interesting case, one sentence description. If you can, it is better to identify a journal yourself at this stage because it shows that you are forward thinking and you've already got a plan in place. And then you move on to the next part. I would like to write this up and would value your guidance as a supervising or a corresponding author. I will handle the writing, the research, and the submission process in full. Would you be open to a brief conversation? That's it. Keep it under 150 words. It's direct, specific, low lift for them. The ones that get a response are always specific about the case and always make clear that you are doing the work yourself. 6 months, 1 case report, 1 audit, 1 conference abstract, 1 formal teaching session. That is a competitive research portfolio built from zero alongside the full-time clinical job. The doctors applying next year who don't start this now will be competing against the ones who did. If you want to find out more about how the recent changes in the NHS is going to impact you, then check out this video, and in the meantime, I will see you in the next one.